Okay, so now let's do a tutorial where we pull it all together. So this one is entitled My Dancing, and you'll notice that there's no tutorial that's just called Dancing, for instance, because I want you to do your own interpretation of it. So you do what you do. This one's just going to kind of show you the process step by step that I'm going to go through to make my dancing, but you make your own. And it's pretty exciting because this is the one we're really going to pull everything all together. So here's what mine ended up looking like. So let's go ahead and start with a brand new Max, and just like always, we're going to change our viewports so that we have them all at default shading and display selected with edge faces. Then after that, go ahead and save. So we're going to go to File, Save As, make sure that you're in your own student drive, and let's save it like this. Your last name and your first name, period, whatever your period is, and Project 5B, My Dance Scene, and just save. Okay, so we're ready to start. So you could do this as an indoor set. You could do it as an outdoor set. I would highly recommend doing it as an outdoor set because I want you to go ahead and put a camera in it that's going to be moving around and possibly on a track and everything. And it would just be a lot easier if you've got a lot of room to move around in. So I think I'm going to make this outdoor scene pretty much like I made the last one. And that is, I'm going to start with a cylinder and just pull that up a little bit. And then right away, put in my parameters here. And I'm going to make it about, let's say 50 feet in diameter, or radius, I should say, and maybe about 30 feet high. Segments will only need one height segment, but the cap segments will put several, so 64. I think is good for that, and the side segments also at 64, so that'll be good. And so so that I can see the whole thing, I'll just go over here to the Zoom Extents All selected, and then I'll be able to see it all. Alright, so now I'm going to start dividing it up a little bit. So first off, I'll go Edit Mesh, and I'm going to take off the top part because I'm not going to use the top part at all. So let's see here, I'll just go to Polygons, and I'm going to select all these polygons here, right? Notice that I haven't selected the top, but I'm going to go over here to Edit and then select Invert. Okay, and from there I can just go Delete, and I've got that. Now I am going to select everything else just by using my element selection there, and I'm going to flip the vertices, or I should say flip the normals. I've been calling them vertices, but it's the normals that we're flipping, and that's that surface. Okay, so that way we'll be able to see inside. Alright, then from there what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to separate the top from the bottom. So I'm going to go back to the polygons, I'm going to select only the top part, not the bottom. I'm going to go over here where it says, let me pull this up a little bit, where it says Detach. And I'm going to call this part Background. And say OK. Now, I think what I'll do is I'm going to cut out at least part of this, and that will just make everything easier to see. Background. There we go. Polygons. There we go. Just a bit. That'll help me to see inside, but it won't really eliminate my ability to move around in here a lot. And so, you know, I could just delete that, but I think what I'll do is I will detach it, because why throw it away? And I'm just going to call this background back. And I don't know if I'll ever need that, but if I do, I have a piece that fits perfectly with it. And I'm just going to click OK. All right, and in fact, this background back, I'm just going to turn it off for right now. Now I don't even need to worry about it. Maybe I never will. Okay, so back to my ground. First off, I'm going to go ahead and, okay, I want to make a copy of this ground, much like I did before, and for much the same reasons. So instead of moving it, you know how we normally would hold down the Shift key to copy? What I'll do, since I don't want to move it, I'm just going to go over here to Edit, and if I say Clone, that's basically the same as copying something. So I'll clone it, and I'll call this part Water. You'll see why in just a few minutes. So that's water, and then where it said cylinder 001, I'm going to go ahead and call that sand. Because I'm going to make a beach scene. So there we go. So we've got that. So now I think before I do anything else, I'm going to put the materials on it so it actually feels like it's becoming something. So I'm just going to go Alt W here so that I can go a little bit bigger.